Okay, so today I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Rolls-Royce Spectre Black Badge. This is Rolls-Royce's fastest car ever, and I am seriously excited to get into this review because the Rolls-Royce Spectre, which I reviewed, the base one, was Rolls-Royce's first ever electric car, and that was seriously cool. But this one, the Black Badge variant, for those who don't know, is pretty much the M Performance division or AMG division of Mercedes, and the Black Badge division is pretty much the performance division of Rolls-Royce. And so this thing has a relatively good power bump. 0 to 60 is quicker and it looks cooler. And so now that I've told you that, let's get into the specs. This car is powered by 2 electric motors that are powered by a 120 kilowatt-hour battery that sends power through all 4 wheels via a direct shift automatic transmission. This thing is seriously fast because the specs are 659 horsepower and 793 pound-feet of torque. So this thing creates a lot of power. And if you put the torque to newton meters, that's 1,075 newton meters of torque. So this thing is seriously powerful. But because this thing weighs about 5,000 or 6,000 pounds, you have a 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. But realistically, it's probably around 3.9. And for such a massive car, that's actually relatively good. Also, you have 155 mile an hour top speed. And comment down below, anyone who's watching this video, because I don't know why all Rolls-Royces seem to have 155 mile an hour like limiter. And yeah, so now that I've told you those specs, let me tell you the range, which is 260 miles of range. So you have relatively good range for such a performance, and you get about 80-ish miles per gallon electric. So it's actually relatively efficient compared to most electric performance cars. But the only thing is the weight. If this thing was maybe a little lighter, it'd definitely have better performance and range. But yeah, so I told you those specs. You have a rough idea of what this thing is like. So now let's talk about the history a little bit before we get deep into the design. But yeah, so a little backstory I want to tell you guys is this was pretty much meant to be the all-electric successor to the Rolls-Royce Wraith, because that was also a 4-seater, 2-door, but it was a gas-powered coupe, like luxury Grand Tour pretty much. But this one is all-electric and it's more powerful and definitely more futuristic. And as you'll see later in the video when I show you guys the design of the car, a lot of differences is probably the dark trim all around the car. You see it has all this like dark silver type of look on the grille, on the Spirit of Ecstasy, and also now normal Spectres have just 22-inch rims, but this thing has brand new all black 23-inch rims. So you get larger rims, better performance, better looks, and today we're going to be finding out if it's worthy of its price tag, because this thing is priced at $547,000, so $500,000. This is crazy, and in today's video we're going to be finding out if it lives up to its price tag, because this one is $547,000. If you spec them nicely, they could get up all the way to $561,000, and with taxes you're probably going to be paying $570,000 to $580,000 for this. And so now that I've told you those pretty bonker specs and price especially, let's take a closer look at the design of this car. So now let's take a closer look at the design of this car. And first thing we're going to start off with is the front, because here it might not be noticeable to everyone, but now you got, as I said before, a brand new Spirit of Ecstasy logo here. And actually, if you guys didn't know this, if you actually mess with the Spirit of Ecstasy, because some people try to take it or something off the car, then it actually pops back into place with a little like revolving box system, so that's pretty interesting. You got also this nice little grill here. which is nice, like silver trim. That's actually metal, which is also really nice, makes it feel more premium. You got the little camera integrated into there, your Rolls-Royce lettering there, which is really nice. And then if you look down here, now you got this like black air intakes. So you got the nice dark trim there. This like, I don't know what is, if this is supposed to be like the trim or what, but it's like, I don't know, rainbow almost colored like tint on this pieces of the plastic right here. I'm not sure why. And then you got this little like sensor, self-driving helping sensor right here. Nice little lip spoiler, because the normal Spectre doesn't have anything. It's just like this white piece, but this one gets a nice little lip spoiler and a great power boost, as I said. You could also tow the car with this little thing right here, little like sensors right there. And you got the really cool headlights. They didn't change these though, because actually, for people who don't know, the Citroen, I believe it's called the DS or some kind of Citroen. It's a French automaker. They were actually the first ones to start this trend where the daytime running lights are on top and then the nighttime lights are on bottom. So that's pretty interesting. See, you can see your nice little lights here with the Rolls-Royce lettering on the side of them. You got two lights here, and check this out. If you look from the front, you got two lights. If you look from the side, you got an extra light pointing this way. So I think when you're turning around corners, it's easier to see where you're turning. And so that's pretty cool. You got this nice strip of LED lighting here, just daytime running lights, which look also pretty nice. The funny part is that this thing's an EV, right? But the hood is like literally massive. It goes all the way up to my chest right here. The hood is like seriously tall. You got Pirelli P0 tires, not really nice performance tires on new 23-inch black, I believe black chrome rims. And another actually interesting thing, there's a lot of cool things on this car, and one of them is actually that Rolls-Royce patented this design where actually when you're driving, this center part of the wheels right here, it actually stays in place. So like constantly, even if they're like moving a little bit, they constantly stay straight up. So you could always read Rolls-Royce, just in case you didn't know, if that was a freaking Rolls-Royce rolling by. You also see really nice brakes. It's literally like a foot tall, really massive brakes. I mean, you need those when you have such crazy performance. You got some more Rolls-Royce lettering and logos right there. Little light right here. I feel like Rolls-Royce could have made this with like maybe a strip of LED or something, just to look a little more like futuristic, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. And also you got this nice little side skirt that's like almost overlapping, really interesting looking side skirt right here, all in black. All the bottom of this is in black, so that's pretty nice for a more like premium and sporty feel. And actually, one thing that's really interesting about this car, besides the 50 other interesting things, is these doors open backwards, as you can see. So you pull them open backwards instead of forwards. So even that makes the car just 10 times more cool. You also got little like windows right here. Got massive mirrors, which are a little blinker right there. And then also, this is in black trim as well, that door handles, to make it look more aggressive. You have this nice black trim across the window also. So Black Badge, pretty much you get a whole bunch of black trim and a massive power boost. You also got this little piece of plastic sticking out of here. And actually, one thing that you'll see on $1 million cars and that you'll see on Toyota Priuses is actually this. If you look right here, look, it's kind of sticking out, right? And the actual reason is because the people who make the rules for what car makers can do and cannot do, they actually said that pretty much you cannot make the tire stick any farther out of the body. Like, it can't go any farther than the width of the body of the car. So automakers does something smart, and they add this little piece of plastic here just to make it a little more like sticking out, so they can make the tires a little more pointy out to look more aggressive. But it also looks kind of strange. And then you have here, you got some reflectors right here, a massive charging. It looks like friggin' a charging pad. Like, this thing is massive. So you can fit like 4 of my hands in there. You got a massive charging port door right there. You got beautiful lights right here, these LEDs, 3 strips of LED lights in white, and in the Rolls-Royce lettering, super elegant, designed into the side. And then also you got this like black trim on the outside of here, and then you come down here and you got this updated, like, I guess you can call it a rear diffuser. Sadly, it's plastic. It would have been cool with carbon fiber or just like black trim. Yeah, so you got nice little rear diffuser here, relatively flat underbody, and yeah. Also, it's nice and wide as well, so you got the nice like sports car feel across here. If you look to the side right here, the like back kind of like comes like slants and kind of comes up, almost like older BMWs, like a little wing or something like that. That's really nice. You got nice Rolls-Royce lettering there as well, and the windows also relatively good. And let me just show you guys the side of this car, because it might not look like it on the camera, but this thing is massive. Because I mean, I've reviewed sports cars in Grand Tours. Usually they're about like this high. Xaaron was like this high, but most of them are around like this height. This one is literally above my head. It's like the size of the Rolls-Royce sedan. So it's probably the largest Grand Touring supercar ever. But yeah, so you come to the back right here, and you open the trunk, and nice trim here, like little carpet. I don't know why all EVs seem to have like these little storage areas right here. You got your charging wall box, you got your plugs right there, and it actually stretches really deep into there, because if you push this in, look at how deep in this trunk spreads. This thing is super deep, great amount of storage. And Rolls-Royce even pays attention to like the details, like the quietest, literally, rear trunk, because that thing opens and closes like you could barely hear it. You wouldn't even know it was opening because it's so quiet. Also, you got your little reflector lights there, and these are probably the main differences compared to the base Spectre. You got this black trim here, black rims, black trim around here, black door handles, and in the front you got a like more black trim and then a little lip spoiler. But other than that, the exterior doesn't have many changes compared to the base one. And so let's find out if the interior has any changes. So let's hop in. And these doors are huge, and you actually do not have an umbrella like most Rolls-Royces, because usually they have an umbrella like hidden right here that you can just pop out, and it's pretty cool. You can actually choose the color for the umbrella. So let's hop inside, and I always forget you have to grab the Rolls-Royce right here. And actually, I just found where the umbrella is. Check that out. So, oh, actually you have a button right here. Oh, okay, so let's open this, and you got a nice umbrella hidden in here, so if you don't want to get wet while getting out of this car, so that's pretty nice. You have to kind of push it in there though, so you just want to hear a pop, and then it's all the way in. So instead of putting your umbrella in the door, they put it into the architecture of the car. That is pretty cool. These doors are massive though, check that out. Like, they might not look big, but they're seriously large. And then, look, I'm not gonna close the door. It's really cool also because this has soft closed doors. That means you don't even have to close the door all the way, and it automatically closes because there's electronic motors inside the door, which is really interesting. And now that we're in here, it is seriously spacious because you got a seriously good amount of leg room. Like, I have to stretch, like, I'm literally almost off the seat because you have so much leg room here. This is actually all sheep's wool, so this could literally be used as like a freaking pillow. This is so comfortable. You got all this beautiful white trim in here. You got this nice, they call it icing, all this like trim here and here. They call it icing. So you got all your orange icing across here, which is really nice. This is all white, which is also really cool. But one thing I'm wondering is, okay, let's say someone has dirty shoes. I don't have dirty shoes, but let's just say someone did. How dirty is your car going to get? Also, what about these wool carpets? These wool carpets are probably like a couple $100 each. These are like crazy expensive and crazy soft. And then you pop this open, and you got a nice little manual, owner's manual there. And you got all types of like papers in here. You pop that closed, and even that is luxurious metal, so they don't get anything wrong. And actually, here, let me pop this open. And I forgot to show you guys one thing, which is actually this. You got Spectre and an infinity symbol. That infinity symbol is the logo for Black Badge. And it shows Goodwood. It shows exactly what your car is, where it came from, so you won't have to guess a thing. So, close that back up. And you got also this really nice trim here with little like lights behind it, which is really interesting. Everything is chrome, so nice. Even the window switches look like chrome, but they're not. But everything looks like chrome and is chrome except for some stuff. You could heat your seat, cool it, all types of things. You have 2, 1, M. I'm not sure what any of those are supposed to mean, but they have a lot of switches. You got some nice storage deep into there that can easily fit like a water bottle or something like that. You also have all this carbon trim, and actually, let me tell you guys something. No one in the world, besides people who work at Rolls-Royce and work specifically on this carbon fiber, knows how to make it. Because, take a look at it. Most carbon fiber is weaved, right? But this, I can't even really explain. It looks like there's metal weaved into it with something else. This is like the most bonkers carbon fiber I've ever seen. So, comment down below if you ever worked for Rolls-Royce and you know how to make this, because this is pretty crazy. Then also, you got these nice speakers, which is more chrome, which is really nice. You could pop this, and then it's like you could move this around. Got a little screen with this like star design. I guess it's supposed to be maybe the Milky Way or something. And also, I really like all this like black trim across the car, and the roof is leather and black. It actually, here, let me pop this door open and close it again. Check that out. The infamous Rolls-Royce star headliner. And actually, Rolls-Royce took this design from Maybach, because in the early 2000s, Maybach had this, and Rolls-Royce didn't. But now, like 20 years later, Rolls-Royce is doing that and saying they created it, but it's actually not true. And so, yeah, you also got a nice little like Alcantara trim here. One thing I'm not a huge fan of is that these pillars are so thick, like they're as thick as my hand, so it's going to be kind of hard to see pedestrians standing right there. Also, this look, compare this to me, like my head's only to like right here, like literally to the top. I could barely see over this, so you don't have the greatest view. You have to be kind of tall in order to see above that. But yeah, so also you got this nice little mirror right here, just like Porsche and Bentley style. You got the little light up there instead of integrated into here. Then you pop this closed. And actually, one interesting thing I want to tell you guys is this. So, both of these windows open. How cool is that? Because you can actually roll these windows up and down. Back here, just this tiny window, and then also this one. I don't know if that messes with the safety of the car, but it definitely is a neat little feature, just if you don't want your window rolled down, but let's say someone sitting back there does, then they can just roll it down. So that's pretty neat. And another thing I think that should be talked about is the seats, because these seats are crazy comfortable. Like, I sit back here and, well, up here, and these seats, like, they don't hold you in place great, but they are really, really comfortable. These headrests, super comfortable, and then you got nice Rolls-Royce lettering there, and it is super duper nice. I don't know why all door handles on Rolls-Royces are this, like, greenish type of color here. Comment down below if you guys know that. But yeah, so you got that, the really nice seats, and hopefully I don't fall asleep in them again like I did in the Cullinan review I did before. But yeah, so there's that. Also, one thing about this cabin that I also like is that the way it's like so, even though the car isn't like extremely huge, it feels super duper spacious. You have great headroom, and for a sports car though, it is actually relatively big. But I mean, that's not too bad because this thing is super fast. But yeah, so also you got this nice little lock here, which is pretty nice. You have also more of the ACs, and this part, just like Bentley's, I feel like I'm not the biggest fan because there's so many like buttons that really I don't even understand what they're saying. But yeah, so you got like this button. You could turn up and down the volume. These are your emergency lights. As you could lock the doors with that button, since there's no buttons on this side or that side. Well, actually there is, but on this side there isn't. So you can just press that button. Then you have all these different things, maybe for radio. You could turn on the heat, or actually no, those are for the fans. So you could turn them on high, soft, medium, max. You could heat the seats, cool the seats, turn on the AC. You could cool it or heat it. Check out how cool this is. You can like scroll these both around. That is super duper neat. Or just put both of them so they're in their coolest mode. Then you got these nice little cup holders right here, and you can just pop this in, and it covers with that crazy looking Rolls-Royce carbon fiber again. And then you come to this, and a lot of people probably won't even know what this is for, but this thing is for the screen. So let's see, I'll just use this, and then I could scroll, and then I could go to, let's say, navigation. So you look around and see I could make it go closer, and then I'd scroll out, scroll in, but you can't really move around. You have to, and then you could like set, I guess you could like put pins down of where you want to go. And the screen, it's relatively nice, but yeah, so you got that nice scroll thing, and then you got a little Spirit of Ecstasy on there with like, you could just press stuff like map, and you could press something like home, and it will automatically go to those places, so that's pretty nice. And actually, let's check out the touchscreen now that we got to the subject. So just gonna go here, and you got Rolls-Royce ID, you got a personal assistant, you got drive recorder, doors and windows, driving settings, and then you actually have to scroll down, and live vehicle. If you press on here, you can see everything like your exact spec. You can see your tire pressure monitor, battery temperature, and if you hold something down, there's a little white thing, and you can see. So that is super duper nice. Then you're gonna go here. You got messages, parking, Rolls-Royce assistance, Spirit of Ecstasy. You can actually control that as well. And watch, you could do like this. So here, watch. You could pop it in or out, so that's super duper cool. You could turn on Spotify. You could see the vehicle status. You could turn on YouTube. So if you want, you could, actually you have to have a Rolls-Royce ID, I guess, but you could turn on YouTube if you wanted to and watch some of my videos. You got an AI assistant, actually like on the, I forgot the name of it, 11.1 or something like that. It was this concept car that kind of looked like a Spectre. But yeah, you got Android Auto, telephone, YouTube again. You got your vehicle. You got all apps, and you just go to home. And then you can see your Spectre, like your status, your media, your telephone, your weather, and then your route preview, which direction you're pointing, personal assistant. So it's all actually pretty quick. Like you go to phone, you go to maps, everything is really quick actually. I'm surprised how high tech this thing is because it's not like crazy tech, but it's really quick. Also, you have that nice little clock, and it actually says Rolls-Royce Goodwood on it, which is pretty cool. And so here, pop this up, and you got storage in here. You got a nice little phone area right here. I believe it's a charger, so you can just put your phone right there and it'll charge it. You got 2 USB-C charging ports there. And you pop this down, and then here you have a little storage right there for, to tell the truth, I'm not sure what. But yeah, so pop that back up. And actually, to tell the truth, I really like this. Like, personally, I'm not a huge fan of like some Rolls-Royces because they're so crowded with buttons. But this one, I mean, it doesn't have as many, and I feel like it's just like the interior is all perfectly designed because it's just so comfortable and ergonomic in my opinion. But yeah, so also you got your nice steering wheel here with carbon fiber trim here and all around. You got your little horn right there, all this random silver trim. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be for. It doesn't seem like it works, but you could turn on voice control, your phone, which, to tell the truth, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. You got some more silver buttons that probably don't work, but yeah. So, you got all that. You got, these are probably the only thing that didn't feel premium because everything is covered in such luxurious chrome, right? The only thing that's kind of sad is this, because you got a cheap little plastic stock. So, I mean, that's one thing that's not really luxurious in this beautiful package, but other than that, I haven't really found too many bad things. One other thing that's cool is actually on Rolls-Royces, you have the screen hidden behind glass. Check it out. This is glass, okay? And the screen is behind the glass, so I guess the screen can't get scratched or anything, so that's really interesting. I'm not sure why they did it, most likely to protect it, but that also makes it seem like it's more like far, and I don't know, it makes it look kind of three-dimensional. It's pretty neat, and yeah. So, I think we've checked out all the front seats. Let's check out a couple more things before we get into the rear. And first is probably this. Check out this mirror. It's a sideless mirror, so how do you move it around? So, okay, so you just move it around like that, but the mirror, it has no sides. How cool is that? So, you got this neat little futuristic sideless mirror. You can turn on lights here. And then these lamp lights, I guess, right there. You can turn on the star headliner right here and choose if it's, I guess you could choose if, yeah, so this button's not working, but this one is. So you got your beautiful star headliner. I guess it only turns on if you don't press it on when you open and close the door. So when you first get in, you're like shocked, like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Then you got some more of your lamps right here. You could turn both of them on as well. Everything. If you want the ultimate lighting, you got your SOS buttons right there. Some like speakers and some more speakers right here in this like greenish trim. And one thing I could kind of say that I'm not the biggest fan of is that this is like this part right here. Like I said earlier in the video, it's like so tall, it's kind of hard to see. If this was a little lower, it kind of would have been better. But I mean, I bet mostly it's going to be adults driving these type of cars. But yeah, so I think we've checked out all these front seats. Now let's hop into the back. So now we're in the back seat of the 2025 Rolls-Royce Spectre Black Badge, and I purposely made it so that I could show you guys what it's like for me when someone who's 6 feet tall sits in this comfortable, like super comfortable for them, what it's like sitting back here. So, actually, you have a good amount of knee room. You probably got a good 2 to 3 inches of knee room. Foot room is not as great, to tell the truth, but right here it's fine. But like this, foot room is not the greatest. But you also got the nice sheep's wool carpet right there. Also, it's pretty nice that they did this indent into the seat right here, because the seats are seriously thick. So they did that little dent right there to have extra leg room, and it's definitely really nice. Of course, you have your windows right here, little window switch. You can actually put the seat forward and backwards from here, or actually, you just have to do like this, and then it rolls forward, but then you put it back, and you could control it. Actually, I guess you can't. Yeah. So, this is what it's like comfortable for a 6 foot tall person. But yeah, so great amount of leg room, okay foot room, and you got your Rolls-Royce and Bentley style speakers right there, which definitely look nice. You got more of this like trim that almost looks like shooting stars or something. Comment down below if you know what that's supposed to be, but I don't really know what it's supposed to be. And so actually now I just remembered we forgot to do the seatbelt test. So let's take the seatbelt. And definitely some of the best seatbelts, but listen to that sound. Sounds kind of like it's scraping on something. I mean, it's comfortable, but it sounds kind of like it's scraping on something. I don't know why it's doing that, but so, I mean, they're pretty good. Yeah, so let's take those off, and you got some coat hangers right there. I just call them shopping bag hangers, because I thought that's what they were for, but no, they're for coats or suits. You got this, more of this, I guess it's called icing, orange icing, as Rolls-Royce will call it. You got a nice armrest here, which actually has a great amount of storage, and because Rolls-Royce is so luxurious, they even put real chrome trim on the little opener. Like, just a piece to freaking open the storage area is made with titanium, or is made with chrome. So that's seriously high levels of luxury. It kind of moves. Oh, okay, so you could do it at different levels. Check this out. You could do it at this level, this level, this level. So there's 3 different levels that you could open it at. I don't know why they have that, but they just do. You got 2 USB-C charging ports in there. Actually, great amount of space in there. And you put this down, and then you got nice cup holders here. Kind of squeaky though. But yeah, so you got these nice cup holders. You could just push that and cover it with beautiful carbon fiber. And also you have more like heating and cooling for the seats back here. That is super duper cool how they do it. You could also control the AC, which is really neat. And then you press these buttons in, and it closes it. And then you open it back up, and it opens it. If you don't want any AC, you just push it in. So that's actually a really nice feature to have. Usually, I believe you have like, I don't know, some kind of cups in here, like crystal cups or something in here, but I mean, this time you did it, or this time it's not in the car. Maybe it's just like on the Phantoms and Ghosts and Cullinans. But yeah, so these seats back here are actually super duper comfy. You got Rolls-Royce lettering there, some more of your beautiful icing, and all the stitching is like extremely straight, so it's all really, really nice. And I think I have to keep myself awake because I might fall asleep, just like in the rest of the videos I did on Rolls-Royces. So let's try to stay awake in this video. But yeah, so one thing I could say though that's not the greatest is the rear window, because if you're looking from like right here, the rear window view is not too great, and especially how low you sit, like you can't see out the window. You have to like prop up on your arm and look out through the rear window. But just sitting, it's hard to see, but meant for adults, it'd be fine. You got actually a great amount of headroom because you got like you probably got like 5 inches of headroom here, and this headrest is a perfect size for me. But yeah, so great headroom in my opinion for such a sloped back car. You could also control the stars back here, and you could turn them on and off, but more of them will be back here, and you could turn it back off if you want to. And there's thousands of hand put little LED lights all in these little holes, so that's really, really cool. You could turn on all the lights or just individual lights, so that's pretty nice. I like how all of it makes clicking sound. And actually, check this out. The side that the light's on, it automatically has stars. That is so cool. And then probably if you do like this, it doesn't have any stars. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, so it was super comfortable back here. It is super nice. You got some little connectors for car seats, even though I would never put a kid back here, a young kid who has to sit in a car seat back in this luxury car. But it has them, just to say they have them. But yeah, so I think we've checked out all of this bonkers cool car. Now let's hop out and near the end of our video. And so I hope you guys liked this video. Remember to like and subscribe to Xaaron Reviews, and see y'all next time. And also, please check out my X account, also labeled Xaaron Reviews, where I post all of the latest and greatest car news from Rolls-Royces to Porsches to Teslas. And so I'll see you guys next time.